Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I'm back playing F1 2016, and today we have the American Grand Prix.
Hi, I've got something you'll be interested in. Those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
So we have an upgrade to look at. It is our chassis weight engine cover that's been upgraded now. So have we overtaken Mercedes? It looked like we would last episode. It's been a while since. No, we haven't. They've upgraded as well. We could cease R&D. I'm not sure about that because I plan to, if I win the championship, to move to a different team. So if the R&D points move over, then I'll do that.
The lights are about to turn green here in Austin, so we should start to see the cars take to the track. Welcome to today's practice session at the United States Grand Prix. I'm here with Anthony Davidson once again. Nice to see you, Ant, and I wanted to ask you about how you go about improving the car over the course of a practice session. How much would you say is already known from the pre-race simulations, and how much do you have to do, how much do you have to work on with a real car on a real circuit?
Well, that's a good question, Crofty, and I suppose the simple answer is that there's no such thing as too much information. As you say, the bigger teams have very complex simulations, vast numbers of clever people crunching the numbers back at base, but what they can't tell you is stuff like how the track condition's going to be, or what the temperature's going to be doing over the course of the day, and how all of that's going to be interacting with the tyre. There are so many millions of tiny variables involved in getting these cars around a racetrack quickly, but the computer can't tailor the car to a driver's specific balance requirements. At some point, you still need to put a human being in there and have them feel it through the seat of their pants. That's why we end up with different drivers having different setups. So what I'm trying to say is, Crofty, nothing beats on-track testing.
So here we are, halfway through our track acclimatization test, and I just wanted to talk about real-life F1 for a second, because if you don't know, Nico Rosberg won the World Championship. If you follow F1, I'm sure you probably know that. And he announced on Friday, less than a week after winning the championship, that he was retiring, which really surprised a lot of people, I think, including me. So I just wanted to share this news and actually talk about some real F1, and I'm just wondering who will take his place, because it seems like everybody's going to be out for that seat at Mercedes. Although everybody's under contract, I think the only person they could get without having to buy them out of a contract is Pascal Wehrlein, as we come round through the DRS zone there at the end of the lap. So I think they might go for Pascal Wehrlein on that basis, but they'll probably want more experienced driver, unless they want Max Verstappen type thing going on with Pascal Wehrlein. I don't know. It's very interesting times. Coming round to our second to last lap of the tyre wear test. I think this was the last one I did. Probably is, since I'm editing it in here. So I only did 3 laps because I hit the minimum number of points that I required to pass this and get any R&D points. So there we go. Hit the green objective, and I decided to end the tyre wear test there and move on to the qualifying lap pace on the super soft compound tyres. Around the last corner now and into the DRS zone here, across the line, and we are first, and we've completed that practice program, so we can go to the resource points. We have 468. We passed all of this here. Got a new rival.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Okay then. Who is our rival? Oh, it's Lewis Hamilton again. We're ahead of him in the championship anyway. We have a voicemail. Surely they could have told me this when they just visited me.
I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Okay, so those are the qualifying goals. Obviously they couldn't have told us. So let's go to the laptop and to qualifying.
It's time for today's qualifying session to begin here in the United States. Welcome to the Circuit of the Americas. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
I did qualifying on these super soft tyres, and as you can see there, I'm not far away from the driver behind me, who's a Mercedes. I didn't catch the name there, but we did get first place for the race tomorrow, or same video, but it's technically tomorrow. And there we go, first place. So here are the resource points we earned in the qualifying. We got 545 resource points total now, so we are getting quite a few back again. And I'm just wondering, should I do the cease R&D? I think I might gamble with it, see if it does cross over to another team when I choose to. We also have a voicemail. Let's go and cease the R&D. We'll get a bonus for next season, so we can improve the lower team a bit more if they do give it to us. I think winning the championship now is a given for us. We're quite a few points ahead of Hamilton. I'm not sure exactly how many, but I think I'm going to do this. So let's cease the R&D and let's go to the race.
In 2012, America's on-again, off-again love affair with Formula One finally seemed to settle down with the completion of this wonderful racing facility here in Texas. Since then, we've been treated to some incredible races, including, of course, that classic wet-dry championship decider of 2015. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles an hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the two DRS zones into turn 1 and at the end of the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. With me today is Anthony Davidson, a man who knows this circuit quite well. Why do you think, though, Ants, that this Grand Prix has now found such huge success since returning to the calendar in 2012?
Well, full credit to the race promoters. They have a Grand Prix in a part of the country famed for its love of motorsport, and they do a fantastic job of advertising it to the right crowd, and then satisfying them when they're here with excellent facilities. It also tends to help when the circuit itself is good, and that's definitely true here. The layout is interesting and it produces some exciting action. Hosting a thrilling title decider like we had in 2015 wouldn't hurt either, so the pressure's on then to maintain that kind of quality here today.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. It's Ferrari in pole position then, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Rosberg, Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen.
I chose the two-stop strategy out of these two. So start on the super softs I qualified on and then move on to the softs later in the race. 5 red lights and away we go. Bit of a slow start there. I think Hamilton's going to make a move on us on the start, and I think Rosberg there going up the inside. Can we get him around the outside? I'm going to go wide, give him the room, and no, he's pinched us slightly wide there and he's taken the move. So we're down into third. We lost 2 positions off the start. Can we get back at them as I run really badly through the S's section there? Still keeping within a close distance of him. I'm going to try and get a move ready for the straight coming up after these next couple of corners. So let's go down the hill here, put it up into a rich mix, and down the hill we go into the hairpin braking zone before we move on to the straight. Now around the bollard there on the apex, and we are still in the rich mix. I was about to say move up into rich mix or activate DRS, but we don't get to do either of those because we already have rich mix, and we made the move on Rosberg. It looks pretty easy. He's still there in the proximity arrow, braking into the corner now, back into standard mix, and we made the move on Rosberg there. So now we just have to focus on trying to make a move on Hamilton at some point within the next couple of laps. Otherwise it looks like he might win. We set a fastest sector there though, that looks good. We're making moves to gain on Hamilton, so we go into the final sector now, or we were already in it, around the fast flowing corners. I really like this section of the track. I find it really fun to drive, and as we go into the final corner we're very close. No DRS on this lap of course, but we will get it on lap 3. Hopefully it won't come to that. We're up into rich mix anyway on this DRS straight, so hopefully we can make a move into turn 1, braking up the inside. It looks like we're ahead, going on the inside, and we've made the move. He's given us this room and we are back up into P1. And now at the end of lap 5, I am coming in. One of my tyres is on 45% tyre wear. So let's go into the pits for a new set of fresh tyres, the Super Softs. Hopefully we can keep ahead of the Mercedes behind us of Hamilton, unless he stays out, which it looks like he's done, so we'll be ahead of Rosberg. And we are now leaving the pits along the straight. This feels so slow. There's a safety car there. And we are coming out really quite high up. I think a lot of people pitted that lap, so we're in P4 still, which is very good to see. We haven't lost many positions at all. Perez is behind us, Bottas is ahead of us, so it looks like in this game Williams are ahead of Force India at the moment, unlike in real life where Force India finished ahead of Williams, which is very good from Force India. I quite like the Force India, to be honest, so see them doing well is a good thing. And we need to now push faster to make a move on some of these drivers ahead of us. We will get DRS now, so hopefully we were close enough within a second at the DRS detection point. Yes, we were. We are getting DRS and activate the DRS now. Gonna breeze past Bottas. He has got Mercedes power, so that's going to help him in the straight line, but we got DRS and we got better aero than him, so we have made the move on Bottas and we are up into P3. We're back in the podium positions even after the pit stop, and that was the fastest sector, it looks like there. Well, that's what it was saying, but it was red up there, so I don't know. Obviously it wasn't, but I did get a fastest purple sector there at some point in the race. But we're now going into the final sector, the section that I like again, coming around to the pit straight. Hopefully some people will be pitting now, so we might move back up into P1. I'm not too sure. And the sky is looking quite cloudy actually in places. Hopefully it won't mean any rain, although it did say on the forecast strategy thing that there would be drops of rain towards the end, so we'll see how that goes. But for now we are back into P1 with a comfortable lead over Rosberg and Hamilton. Rosberg! I was about to say Rosberg is ahead of Hamilton now, but no, Hamilton's back into P2 and Rosberg P3. 2 laps later on lap 9, Rio Haryanto just retired, so I'm just having a look on the replay seeing why that was. But the skies are looking really grey now, so it looks like there will be rain at some point. Whether it affects the race or not, I don't... And there we go, he's got an engine failure. So that's why Rio Haryanto retired. And it does look like the skies are grey, so there may be a bit of rain later in this race. I'm round here in the final sector of the race. You can see the yellow section of the track there. I'll probably go around and see him in a minute. But yeah, it looks like the weather is going to take a turn for the worse at some point. I remember 2015 they had to postpone qualifying to the next day because the weather was so bad. Hopefully it won't be that bad, but it does look like we will have to pit at some point, maybe. We have 4 laps to go, so I don't know, it's going to be cutting it close really. Not many laps on the intermediates or wets if it does start to rain, but it hasn't started to rain yet. And there you go, my engineer is telling me about Rio Haryanto coming off. I wonder if we'll be able to see him anywhere. I can't. No, I can't. Oh yeah, there he was. I saw his name just about. Anyway, let's carry on and hopefully there won't be any rain. And the final sector of lap 12, the rain is coming down. I'm having to go really slowly here. 4th gear, 2 gears lower than where I would normally be for there, and I can hardly turn, so I am going to come into the pit for a set of wetter tyres. I'm not too sure which at the moment, to be honest, but here we go. I'm almost crashing into the barrier there, down into 1st gear and into the pit. So let's see what they put me on, because I can't remember what I chose. I cut that bit out. Yeah, they're putting the intermediates on. That should be alright till the end of the race really. Give me a bit more grip. I don't think the wets will be needed. We've only got about 2 laps to go. Yeah, 13th lap now, so this lap and the next lap, 2 laps to go. It'll be fine on the intermediates. And my teammates entered the pits now, so it looks like a lot of people are doing it as I run completely wide there. I'm going to leave room for Rosberg. Oh no, he's nowhere near. Okay, so we are staying out in 1st place after that pit stop, which is a good thing to see. It means other people are pitting onto intermediates. Yeah, there you can see Hamilton on the intermediates behind Rosberg. on the softs. I doubt Rosberg's going to keep that second place, possibly even the third place, sticking on the soft tyres. The intermediates will probably be a lot quicker. I'm struggling on the intermediates, and he's on the softs, so what he's doing on worn softs, I have no idea. Round the final corner now to win the USA Grand Prix, or American. It's USA. Okay, we've won it anyway, whatever you want to call it. American, USA, United States, there you go. United States Grand Prix, we've won it.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And after this round of the
So
World
my
Championship,
teammate and
here's how things look
Verstappen
in
were
the
able
driver's
to
section.
capitalise on
5
Rosberg
points
staying out on the
extend
softs
their
there.
lead
You
to
can
the
see him in
top of
5th
the
place.
championship After a very good result here today. Moving on to the driver of the day.
And in the
Anthony
points
Davidson,
is
who do you
Jolyon
go?
Palmer, the Renault.
Julian
That's
Palmer
good
did
to
a
see.
great job coming through the field
And
today,
yeah,
so
you can
might
see
well
they're
go
calling
for
him
it.
driver of
Onto
the
the
day.
constructors then.
There.
Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. Meanwhile,
Right, so let's have a
Renault
look.
is on the
Championship,
signal
it's
with
me,
another strong performance
Hamilton.
this weekend.
I didn't catch
With
them.
20 more
That,
crisps and
there we go. We are top
this
of the
season.
constructors, so that's good to see. So it's me, Hamilton, Rosberg, Vettel, and the 2 Red Bulls, Ricciardo, followed by Verstappen. And let's see our R&D points. We won't get to upgrade the car anymore this season, although we only have 3 more races after this one. So, yeah, it's interesting. Hopefully we will win. It looks like we will win the championship, at least the drivers at this point, unless something catastrophic happens to me, which will be bad. Contract event, what's this about?
Could this be? Could it be a promotion to first driver?
Ooh.
I think it might be. You read the details. You've earned it.
So it looks like I'm moving up to the first driver. It's taken a while. I mean, I've been maxed out on the driver position thing for ages, so team promotion, I'm moving up to first driver. That's good to see. You can read the letter there, what they've written. But I think it's the same whatever team you're in when you move up. So that's really good to see. We're now the first driver. It still says second driver there. Hopefully for the next episode it will have refreshed. Our R&D upgrades are locked, so we are locked in position there. Hopefully Red Bull won't try and overtake us, but they're quite a few points behind anyway. And this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.